really good rookie year. Some people were worried about when they added Stefon Diggs because he's, a vocal veteran, kind of talked his way out of Minnesota and Buffalo, if you believe some of the stories online. Diggs so far this season, 25 catches, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns. And his new quarterback, Stroud, says Diggs' critics are all wrong.
I think he got a bad rap, just by the media and like by people. But man, he's not been nothing but just amazing to this team and to his teammates. He's helped me out a ton, and as you can see, we're clicking more and more every game. So, I'm very happy for him, and I'm glad that he's finally having fun playing the game. And
yeah, I don't think the media was unfair. I think we saw multiple times instances with he and Josh Allen had drama. Josh Allen has come out and said publicly, "I like it now. Nobody cares about their stats." That's not a media.
Oh, but remember, that wasn't a shot at Diggs. Allen came out to clarify. That's not a shot at Diggs. Sure.
So I think it's easy. We're the scapegoat, and sometimes the media does create stuff. But Robert Saleh goes to the microphone 3 times and then goes, "You guys and your crazy controversy." Dude, you're the guy setting the fires.
By the way, in the event the Jets lose in London, it's good that it's the island game because at 1 o'clock, right after that's done, Bills-Texans is a monster game, and Ravens-Bengals is a huge game. So people quickly forget about the Jets' loss should they go down because there's a lot. The 1 p.m. slate is stacked.
In the history, think about this. In the history of and I don't mind them because it is kind of cool to wake up and have a game. Because usually what I do, you probably do this, I get up and do a big workout because I'm going to be sitting on my butt watching football for like 10 hours.
Unhealthy.
So generally Sundays, I go on a hike. I can't do it. So instead, Saturday night, I got to be good.
You got to rein it in.
Rein it in Saturday night.
Only 2 vodka tonics, right, instead of 5?
Maybe none. But I would say that it is really cool that you wake up and it's like, oh, I got football.
And good football. Good teams.
No, and think about all the London games we've had. So when the NFL started these international games, it was a lot of Jacksonville Jaguar games. It was a lot of junk. In the history of the London games, of the European games, and correct me if I'm wrong, is this the most fascinating matchup? You have the hottest team in the league, the Darnold story. You have Aaron Rodgers going over off a loss to a bad team, Saleh fighting for respect, relevance, and a relationship where there's fissures with Aaron Rodgers. I don't remember a 6:30 game that I was more into than this.
Yeah, Sam Darnold revenge spot.
If this was a 1 o'clock game, it would be the one I would watch.
Yeah. A little nervous.
I would be a little nervous.
But are you picking this in Blazing 5, Jets, Vikings?
It is nice to have one in the bag. It's nice to have a nice win in the bag.
Oh, you've given the Jets
now,
the dub.
remember this. The London games are a little different because some teams show up 3 days early. Remember last year there was a team that showed up very late and won.
Rare. That's rare.
Okay, that was right. Wasn't it? Was it Jacksonville, Buffalo?
You're supposed to show up early, get the body clock acclimated, all that fun stuff.
That's right. So it's I'm interested. I'm going to dig up on this, and maybe we can do it during the show. When are the Jets arriving? When are the Vikings arriving? Because it's the power of Aaron Rodgers. There's nothing that tells you the Jets will win this game. Now you got the Devontae Adams thing hovering over the franchise.
Yeah.
You got the Saleh Caden story. They got an injury to one of their tackles. The Vikings are the hottest team in the league, and Aaron Rodgers sucks us in, and we're all like, I like the Jets. There's nothing that tells you the Jets are going to win.
Just remember, after I called Bears and Bengals last week with confidence, I'm telling you, Jets are in that confidence realm this week.
Yeah, but I don't. I trust you as a guy. I don't trust you with the Jets. I don't throw like Mahomes, but they're good. But this season, like none I ever remember, the NFL middle class, they've restored the NFL middle class. Geno, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Andy Dalton are crushing it. To give you a sense, Darnold leads the NFL in passing touchdowns and passer rating. Baker leads it second in passing touchdowns and a 71% completion percentage. Geno Smith has thrown for the most yards, and Andy Dalton, through 2 games, has as many touchdown passes as Aaron Rodgers does for the season. So simply put, they're very, very good at their craft, and they're not nearly as expensive. So go look at the receiving core for Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, and Baker Mayfield, and then go look at the receiving core for, like, Josh Allen or, a Dak Prescott. Or if Rashee Rice is hurt, yikes, Patrick Mahomes. So I don't know if these guys hoist trophies, but you win 10, 11 games, everybody in the building keeps their job. You're not getting fired if you make the playoffs and lose with Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith or Sam Darnold or Andy Dalton, although I think that's a long shot. But he's played great. So it's and I think what you're watching here is the reality of this league is you have to make decisions. And that's why guys like me push back on the Tua contract. If you're going to pay the big money, which is going to limit what you can pay a backup quarterback, an offensive line, a second corner, like Miami, this thing goes sideways really fast if the quarterback gets hurt. It's why I push back on Dak Prescott. He's not Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, or Burrow. So his contract does matter. It limits what they can do offensively. So my point is, the best place to be in the NFL is to have a superstar quarterback, a superstar that we don't argue over. There's an argument, and I think it's pretty clear. The second best place to be isn't having Dak. I mean, I just watched Brock Purdy in an NFC championship. The second best place to be is having a Dalton, a Baker, a Geno, and a Darnold not making much, but stacking your roster and then drafting a quarterback and letting him sit. There's only 6 guys in the world that do this at the next level. And even guys we like, Jalen Hurts and Trevor Lawrence, suddenly we're not hot on. So you can go back and forth and argue. You don't want to settle at quarterback, but look at what is happening to the middle class. J-Mac, the blue-collar quarterbacks are making football great again. Mufka. They are making it great again. And tonight you're going to see Baker and Kirk Cousins right now are kind of the middle-class guys. They make good money. They don't make stupendous money, but look at the weapons both of them have. Look at Darnold's weapons. If you watch the Seahawks get 38 first downs on the road, they're stacked at running back, tight end, wide receiver. So it's if you can't have one of the 6 great ones, that's what you want. Veterans, B guys, coachable, and great at their craft. Baker Mayfield talking about the matchup with Kirk tonight.
It's a great opportunity for us to continue to build what we've had so far. But, you know, I think back at last year. Every year is different, but think back at last year, we were 3-1 at this point too. Now I wouldn't say that we operated as clean and we knew our identity. But right now, don't take anything for granted. Just because you start 3-1, like you said, it's a long year. Got to continue to improve and just build as the year goes on.
Darnold, Baker, Geno. I'm sorry, but look at the current NFL stats with quarterbacks, passing yards, passer rating, touchdowns, yards. It's the guys with stacked rosters who aren't quite as dynamic. J-Mac with the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
We'll start with this Bengals-Ravens game. How is this not a primetime game? This is a fantastic 1 p.m.
the Bengals haven't held up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, but come on, divisional matchup.
Did you see Burrow?
Lamar. You get 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks
I'll
in the
watch.
league.
I'll watch it.
Obviously. Bengals did start 0-3 before they smashed Carolina on the road last week. Joe Burrow knows how big of a moment this week is against the Ravens. Burrow said, I'm going to have to play damn near perfect. That's how I'm preparing. So it's an exciting opportunity. Burrow has played 7 games against Baltimore. I just looked this up. 12 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's shown really well against all the defenses they've thrown at him. I'm not a believer in this Ravens defense. I don't know if you are. I know they shut down Buffalo.
I think it's an offensive-led team.
Right.
I would say
so the total has gone up on this game.
Buffalo's going to be led by their offense, too. Kansas City right now is led by their defense.
Yeah. This should be a fantastic game. I don't know. Where are you leaning here? So, is this just a watch? Don't bet. There's no real edge?
That's how I feel about it. I thought Joe Burrow saying this week, I have to play, quote, a damn near perfect game for us to win, is really enlightening. It tells you why he met with Zach Taylor after the game is this is an organization that has been cheap. They have been moving off players for a year before they've even signed Jamar Chase. The Brown family, you can say what you want, you can push back. Historically cheap. I think they still are. They're just cheap with a great quarterback. But the reality is Joe Burrow's sitting here saying, well, Kansas City, they got Chris Jones, they got Spags. It's not just that you got to pay Joe Burrow. We all get it. He's one of those 6 or 7 guys top of the planet. But I always feel like there are certain ownership groups that will extend it to they'll put the chips all the way into the table, not doing Groupons as you're waiting for Jamar Chase to be signed. And I feel like you guys are